In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. The one thing that human beings want to get rid of in life, by Ibn Hazm al-Andalusi. I have tried to find one goal which everyone would agree to be excellent and worthy of being striven after. I have found one only, to be free from anxiety. When I reflected upon it, I realized that not only do all agree in valuing it and desiring it, but I also perceive that, despite their many different passions and aspirations and preoccupations and desires, they never make the slightest gesture unless it is designed to drive anxiety far away. One man loses his way, another comes close to going wrong. Finally, another is successful, but he is a rare man, and success is rare. Dispelling anxiety is a goal upon which all nations agree from the time when the Almighty created the world until the day when this world will pass away and be followed by the day of judgment. And their actions are directed to this goal alone. In the case of every other objective, there will always be some people who do not desire it. For example, some people are not religious and do not take eternity into account. There are some who, by nature and inclination, prefer obscurity to fame, the obscurity of satisfied passion. There are some who have no interest in amassing a fortune, preferring abstinence to ownership. This was the case with many of the prophets, God's peace be upon them, and those who followed their example, ascetics and philosophers. There are some who, by nature, dislike sensual pleasures and scorn those who seek after them, such as those men we have just mentioned, and who prefer to lose a fortune rather than gain one. Some prefer ignorance to knowledge. In fact, most of the people that you see in the street are like this. These are the objectives of people who have no other aim in life. Nobody in the whole world, from the time of its creation until its end, would deliberately choose anxiety and would not desire to drive it far away. When I had arrived at this great piece of wisdom, when I had discovered this amazing secret, when Allah the Almighty had opened the eyes of my mind to see this great pleasure, I began to search for the way which would truly enable me to dispel anxiety. That precious goal, desired by every kind of person, whether ignorant or scholarly, good or evil, I found it in one place alone, in the action of turning towards God, in the action of turning towards God the Almighty and Powerful, in pious works performed with an eye to eternity. Thus, the only reason that someone chases after riches is to dispel the anguish of poverty. The only reason that someone seeks fame is to dispel the anxiety of seeing someone else outdo him. The only reason that someone chases after pleasures is to dispel the anxiety of missing them. The only reason someone chases after knowledge is to dispel the anxiety of being ignorant about something. People enjoy listening to other people's conversation and gossip only because it dispels the anxiety of being alone and isolated. People eat, drink, make love, wear clothes, play games, build a shelter, mount a horse, go for a walk, only in order to avoid the reverse of all these actions and every other kind of anxiety. In all the actions listed here, anyone who pauses to reflect will see that anxieties inevitably occur, such as problems which arise in the course of the action, the impossibility of performing the impossible, the fleeting nature of any achievements, and the inability to enjoy something because of some difficulty. There are also bad consequences which arise from every success: fear of one's rival, attacks by the jealous, theft by the covetous, loss to an enemy, not to mention criticism, sin, and such things. On the other hand, I have found that actions performed with an eye on eternity are free from every kind of fault, free from every stain, and a true means of dispelling anxiety. I have found that the man who is striving for the eternity may be sorely tested by bad fortune on his way, but does not worry. On the contrary, he is glad, because the trial to which he is subjected gives rise to hope, which aids him in his endeavor and sets him the more firmly on the path towards his true desire. I have found that when he finds his way blocked by an obstacle, he does not worry. He does not worry, because it's not his fault, and he did not choose the actions that he will have to answer for. I have seen such a man be glad when others have wished evil upon him, and be glad when he has undergone some trial, and be glad always living in a permanent state of joy, while others are permanently the opposite. You should therefore understand that there is only one objective to strive for. It is to dispel anxiety, and only one path leads to this, and that is the service of the Most High God. Everything else is misguided and absurd. The wise words of Ibn Hazm the Andalusi, the greatest scholar from Andalusia. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.